Warning, the following may contain bullywugs. Join fantasy authors Phil Tucker, Timandra Whitecastle, David Benem, Benedict Patrick, and Josiah Bancroft as they roll dice and take on the bad guys in a game of Dungeons and Dragons. 5 authors, 5 worlds, 1 adventure. It's time to get crit-faced. Previously on Crit-Faced. Despite its best efforts, the Death House has failed to kill our heroes. They have escaped it and are now lying in a bruised heap outside its front door. The mists of Barovia have receded, finally giving the team full access to the village.
I think you forgot to say that we all leveled up and regained all our hit points.
Oh yeah.
No.
So, when you do a death save, does it ever come back?
So yeah, that's it. You're now back to not having to. Well, you don't have to take death saves on the next time you die. When that happens, you'll be back to having to take 3 again. So
okay,
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So guys, you're in a heap in front of this house. The mists have gone. 2 people.
I think we need to rest.
We so need to rest.
Okay.
Is there like are there any other buildings like
A
or
comfy
was it
looking
just
inn, or
because I think when we came there was like a kind of a cemetery vibe going on.
Mm-hmm. So the buildings around you are very much similar to the one that you that is still behind you, and now is back to looking like a perfectly normal house. They're all dark windows, lots of scratches, if you recall, along the brickwork. So other than that, there's nothing in the street that particularly seems to stand out to you. You do realise that from a distance away, somehow dampened by the mist earlier, there seems to be a mournful sobbing that is echoing throughout the place.
Don't care. Let's go find a pub or a hovel or something.
and how?
Wait, are we awake now, or are we still corpse-like?
No, you're still unconscious.
Okay. We could. You're in the middle of a street, obviously, but you're certainly able to
just sleep like hobos.
Sit here. A short rest, remember, isn't necessarily sleeping. A short rest could just be sitting and resting and having a bit of bite of your provisions. That would certainly let your pals come round.
We got to at least. Oh, can we regain hit dice during that time?
That's right.
Okay. Well, how about we sort of pull the other two to aside so that we're not like immediately on the street. Maybe there's like a shady place somewhere where they can rest up a bit, and we can not smash them in the face, but maybe put some bandages on them and stuff.
Okay, absolutely. And guys, we'll take a short rest then. Everyone's allowed to spend their hit dice. And remember, because you're second level, you now have 2 hit dice, so you can roll twice if you need to.
And we roll the same die that we determined our hit points with.
It should say in your character sheet what your hit dice is. I can't. Everyone's got a different.
Wow, back up to full. I rolled perfect.
Wow.
Do we
Right.
get our Constitution modifier?
I don't think so. Not for rolling your hit dice. Let me just double check. I think it's based on your class.
So it's like it's 1d8 plus 1. Or is it then 2d8?
You could roll that 1d8 twice, if you wish. You could save it for later. You don't have to spend it all now.
No, okay. What? But I only have 7. It's probably not good.
Hit dice. So you don't get a modifier on your hit dice. So it's, for example, for Kellen, because he's a barbarian, you get a 1d12. So you could roll 2d12, for example.
Okay. Breathing easier. All right.
Jean, are you rolling your? Are you?
Oh yeah, I did. It was pitiful, but I'm up to 7 now.
Yeah.
So,
do you have anything now that you're conscious? Is there anything else you'd like to do during this short rest?
I'd like to change my clothes. I feel like no. I use like healing word. Can I use that?
Well, don't you?
No. Song of rest. Song of rest.
Oh.
That's it.
Okay. As I kind of feel my fingers again, I pull out my concertina and I play the Song of Rest. And what happens?
So I can't remember, but I believe what that means
is
we're
all better.
Well, while you're all listening to Jean's little tune, I believe you all get to heal a bit more. So I believe you each gain an extra 1d6 hit points.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's right.
Okay. D6. That's nice. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'm now at 12. This is better than it was.
14 now.
I'm still going to run away anytime like anybody comes up. I'm running away because I am good at dying.
So, what's the plan, guys? You're in the middle of this village, town strip village. There's
what time is it? Is it nighttime?
It is not nighttime. It is. So I don't think would never establish a time of day because of the fog. So it's clearly during the day. There's no direct sunlight. Although the fog has disappeared, although your visibility has increased a lot, the sky above you is still grey but not black. In the time that you've been resting for about half an hour, you have noticed that the sky is darkening. So based on that evidence, you would think it's a very murky evening.
Are there any people walking around?
You've not noticed anyone in the whole time you've been resting here, but you certainly can hear those noises from in the distance. Yes.
Is there like a town square or something? Do we have any sense of a center to this town?
Again, I mean, you've not moved from where you are. Certainly, when you first came upon this path, you came off a main road, so you could be quite straightforward for you to walk back. Just south of you is the main road that you entered on, so you could certainly head back there. I would be taking you in the direction of the sobbing as well.
Well, okay. Is it sort of like a childish sobbing, or is this an adult sobbing? I'm not doing any more kids.
You want to take a perception check?
Okay, sure.
I think we all should.
I rolled a 2.
14 plus. Is this a passive perception check?
No, just a regular perception. Your passive perception, I know, is high.
16.
Okay, yeah, you're Lord Talfin. You're pretty convinced this is a human female.
Yeah.
Adult. Old or young?
Adult.
Well, Lord Talfrin climbs to his feet, brushes the blood and dust and all sorts of things accumulate all over him off as best he can, and he looks to Helen and Master Sunna and sketches a bow and says, I am forever indebted to the two of you for hauling my carcass out of that blasted house, which I believe we could still burn to the ground and perhaps save others from entering there at the manipulations of those two children. But for now, I say we establish where we are, verify the facts, and see what we can about returning to our respective homes. What say you? Should we find anyone in this seemingly abandoned town? Very good. I agree. I lead the way towards deciding.
Okay.
Actually, I'm very much in favor of just burning down this house.
Yes, I second burning the house down.
I say we keep walking through the town until we find someone who's laughing instead of crying to go towards. Maybe there's got to be a happy person somewhere in here.
We will be doomed to walk forever. This land appears to be one of woe.
It is cursed, I think.
Or at least perpetual fog.
Yeah. But maybe there is if we follow the main road, maybe we can get to some other place.
Okay.
Maybe even back home.
The sobbing.
Actually, can we make out the windows of the nursery on the 3rd or 4th floor, the attic level? Maybe see if we can spy some ghostly faces looking down at us?
The nursery was at the back of the house, so you'd need to be behind to do that. There's certainly nothing.
Is there anything stopping us from going around the house?
What are you doing?
Why do you want to go and check on the creepy children?
I'm just curious as to whether that was some sort of mass delusion that we suffered and have only now awoken from.
Okay, there's
a man of reason.
There's a gate that you could, certainly a gate that you could hop over. And by the way, all the windows that no longer bricked up anymore. They've got window panes set in them. As last time.
Obviously.
You're welcome to.
Mallarmé, you are an athletic man who is prone to leaping over others' backs when fleeing from danger. Would you be interested in vaulting over this gate and taking a quick little sortie around the back, peering up at the nursery windows and seeing if there's anyone else looking down with tears in their eyes? We'll wait for you right here. Good man, Mallarmé. Good man.
Oh, God.
Clap him on the back.
It's
Clap
only
him on the back. Here's a copper.
Oh,
here's a copper.
Oh, now you're just insulting me. Okay, well, because you're so curious, I will go and see what's back there. So,
all right.
I leap the fence.
Left our view, we run.
I round the house and look up at the window.
So the first up from the back of the house, there's sort of back. The back of the house is the village border. So beyond the house is just the woodland basically that you guys traveled through to get here in the first place. But you can step out a bit into some of it. You get the impression close to the house has historically been tended as a garden, but it's been a very long time since that's happened. So it's all quite overgrown. However, when you step back far enough that you can have a look up to the nursery windows, you don't see anything particularly out of the ordinary up there.
No, because it's meant to entrap the next person.
Right. I make a rude gesture at the house, and I return to my friends. Is a term loosely. Oh my God!
The second you rounded the corner, we booked it.
Oh Lord. Okay. Well, I
see
say
us running in the distance.
No, you do not.
Good riddance. Okay. I come back and I say, Lord Talfin, there's nothing upstairs. There's no morbid children, no apparitions. It's just a house, and I think we should be grateful that it's just a house and leave while we can.
Fair enough.
No burning.
We can burn it, sure. Does anybody have a match?
I have firebolt.
You got a walking match.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that a yes from the group?
Yes.
Master Sana, shall I burn the house down?
It's a yes from me, yeah.
I have a loose rule that if a building tries to kill me,
you kill it back.
Kill it? Yes, I destroy it. Yes, absolutely.
But we also must protect anyone
Helen?
who comes after us.
I'm all in favor of letting it burn.
All right. I've been waiting for you guys to give me this sort of permission since we met in the foggy woods. I believe we're finally coming together as a group of friends.
And pyromaniacs.
We're the four best friends.
So I snap my cuffs. I turn so that the general gray malaise of the light coming through the fog glints in my monocle. And then I begin letting out barks of laughter as I hurl bolts of fire through the different windows on the different floors.
Okay. It's very effective. Very quickly, you see that many of your firebolts catch alight various items within those rooms, and quickly there are multiple blazes going, black smoke pouring from the different windows in the house, and timber begins to groan with having to support the weight of stuff snaps, and you can tell the house is aflame.
Yeah, I don't stop. I mean, I can go all day. So I just keep
I
You're laying on.
I wonder no other townsfolk are sort of like turning up and going like, "Oh God, the house is burning" or something. It's like everyone's
Our
like,
main tourist attraction. The economy is ruined.
If you
and over the crackle of the flames, you hear the two wails. The finally free children.
Marley, run in and rescue them.
Like,
after a bit of time, you hear a crack and a crash, and you see the roof sort of collapse in, basically, falling onto what you know is the attic level, and the fire continues to burn. Also, it begins to get darker. Clearly, the sun is going down at the moment as well.
I enjoy watching a house burn as much as the next man, but maybe it's time for us to move on. I say we investigate the wailing sounds. Like I have learned
is she
this
still
and nothing
wailing?
else.
Yeah, the
A distressed woman can sometimes, be a pliable one. I'm not suggesting nothing sinister, but perhaps she has a house with some beds or some pie.
Is that a metaphor?
No, just beds and pie. We need some shelter. We can go and ingratiate ourselves to her.
Well, since we haven't seen any other sign of life, I say we should maybe try and talk to this woman.
I'm impressed that no one's come out to see what's going on with the big house burning in the middle of the town.
No, nobody has.
Maybe we should keep burning houses until someone comes out.
No, that would be irresponsible.
with like flaming townspeople? Like, oh, there's one. Found one.
Get him! 10 points.
Well, it's getting late again. You can tell that we're going crazy.
All right.
Okay, so
all right. Let's go and console gently and with extreme tact and with no expectation of any sort of retribution or payment. Hi. Whoever is insisting on sobbing loudly, continuously out of sight while this house burns. It's a little eerie, but okay.
Okay. So
is her sobbing starting to get like pointed, like a little annoyed?
No.
Like a nagging kind of sob.
It's
like,
definitely...
come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 2 hours.
We go down to the main roads then. That you had left earlier to come up to this lovely abode, and the main road continues west, and certainly as you join that road, it's certainly wider than the one that your friendly house was on. It's the houses here are in slightly better repair, but again the same issues. A lot of dark windows, no signs of life, and lots of scratches along the walls here. You do get the impression in the distance that there is light from some houses further into the village.
Cool.
I think we're in the suburbs now. I feel this is more middle class.
But is there any? But then where is the woman?
You can hear the noise, and it's clearly coming from the west, closer to where the lights are.
The lights are. Yeah. Okay, then shall we proceed in that direction?
Certainly.
Okay.
Make it so.
Together, guys, you walk maybe about 100 feet from where you began. Again, lights still, you're still quite a distance away, but you can tell the road is opening out. Maybe if you travel the same distance again, it would open out into what looks like some kind of square. And certainly the light coming from some of the buildings there. However, there is a street off to your right, and as you pass it, you hear the sound of small wooden wheels rolling across damp cobbles, and you can see that the sound is coming from a hunched figure, bundled in rags, pushing a rickety wooden cart through the streets, and the cart's being pushed. This figure is pushing the cart away from you.
Fireball.
Fireball. Actually, I'm going to cast Charm Person.
Okay.
What's that do?
Would you like to let us know how that works?
Yes. Charm Person You attempt to charm a humanoid you can see within range.
Mm-hmm.
It must make a wisdom saving throw and does so with advantage if you and your companions are trying to kill it. If it fails the saving throw, it is charmed by you until the spell ends or until you and your companions try to kill it. The charmed creature regards you as a friendly acquaintance. When the spell ends, the creature knows it was charmed by you. Oh.
Mm.
Forget I said that last part.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
I'll save the charm. If it knows I was doing shenanigans, I'll save that until.
Is this the person who's crying?
No.
This is the source of the crying?
No.
So we have a crying woman and then a retreating person with a wagon, right?
Well, she's not really retreating. She's moving away from you, but you don't think she's actually seen you.
Okay, so does anybody want a wagon? I think that's the real question.
That's a real question.
As you look, the figure with the wagon, she moves up to one of the houses on the street and knocks on the door. But there's no answer, so she moves on.
I hail her. Does she seem female or male from
female from the distance? So what do you say?
I say, my good lady, excuse me.
Okay, so
I start moving in her direction.
Her head shoots up, and she turns around, and she sees you, and she turns back and just continues to push her cart away from you again, a little bit more hurriedly this time.
I say, good lady, and I move quicker to catch up with her. Does she seem human, or was she like a ghoulish creature from beyond the grave?
Do you want to take a perception check?
Yes.
That's a yes.
18. So 19 total.
Yeah, she seems like an elderly woman, from what you can tell. She turns around and waves at you. I can't quite tell whether she's waving as a reply or she's gesturing for you to go away. One of the two.
Well, I'm moving to catch up with her unless she starts a race.
Okay. No. She eventually realizes that you won't give up, and she turns around. So you can see this. She's got a big sort of hood over, her cloak, the rags sort of go over her face. When you get a look at her face, she's had a tough life. She's her skin is wrinkled and it's weather beaten, and it's got maybe a couple of sores on it as well. She kind of smiles at you, but you can tell there's not a lot of mirth in the smile, and she's got sort of yellowed or blackened teeth, or just teeth missing at all. And she goes, "Oh, hello there.
Hello, my good lady.
Would you like to buy a dream pastry?"
Oh,
that sounds creepy.
If she had said nightmare donut, I might have gone for it. A dream pastry just sounds ambiguous. I would.
Perhaps. But first, could you please tell me what is the name of this town in which we find ourselves?
And she sort of looks around, nervously, just to see if. As if she's looking to see if anyone else is around, and she goes, "This is the village of Barovia."
Barovia.
The ruled by Lord Strahd.
And she, at the sound of his name, she takes a jump. She looks around again. Yes, Lord Strahd.
I see.
Yes.
And where is everybody else? We haven't seen anyone but yourself here.
The people of Barovia do not like to leave their homes if they can help it. But sometimes they do, so it is worth knocking on their doors to see if they would like a dream pastry. Would you like one of my dream pastries?
We're actually looking
yet.
for a shelter for the night.
And she yes. This is true, yes. But have you been to the center of town yet?
No. What direction does that lie in?
The tavern, back on the road you were on, and you continue that way, and you will find the Blood of the Vine Tavern. It's good rooms, yes.
Charming. Do you see over there in that direction that plume of black smoke?
Oh my goodness! Yes, I see what has happened.
Well, I don't quite know, to be honest, but there is a house there. I give her the address, roughly, or describe it. It's like, do you know anything of that house?
Yes, all in Barovia know of that house.
What do they know?
They know not to go into the Durst house.
It's the Durst place on Earth.
The entire group winces. Everyone
strangers from outside of town, you do best to stay away from there.
Yeah,
no good comes of going in there.
I agree.
Why is it? Would there happen to be some sort of horrific cult in the basement or something that we should be aware of?
You are very wise. Yes, very wise. I must tell you that very few people who go into that house come out again alive. So do not go into that house. Instead, stay here in town. Drink at the Blood at the Wine Tavern. Have a dream pastry.
I'm
kind of warming up to these dream pastries.
I am too.
Yes.
The more she, yes. Can I have how much for a dozen?
I sell them one at a time.
One at a time.
One gold piece.
One gold piece. Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but dream pastry sounds pretty good.
So, is there actually anything in the wagon, or are these dream pastries like things that you pay for but aren't really there?
Okay. Are you asking me?
Exactly.
Or are you asking her?
Well, I think the real question is like, madam, show me your pastry and I'll show you my coin.
Okay. You're by the way, you're all very much aware that I mean, obviously we've got different currencies here, but what she's asking for is a significant amount for a bite of food.
But it's a dream pastry. It's one of the best.
I see a dream pastry. Yes, and she opens up. She's got a slightly soiled cloth covering the cart that she's on. She unfurls it, and there are indeed a number, as well, a dozen pastries there.
Are they like insect things sticking out? I'm very wary.
Almost like a
Cornish pasty.
Cornish, exactly what I was thinking. I wasn't sure whether you guys would know. Very similar to
I would like one.
Yes, everyone likes them.
Yes, I'll have one. Who has the coin right now? Who has the money?
I have the money,
You do.
and I'm not giving you any.
Oh, come on!
I think we have to have somebody.
Okay.
We have to have one.
So
I think what we should do is we should each buy one.
No.
We can cut it into 4
They're
pieces.
probably poisonous. He's probably going to be in like some raging fit and see colors. He's going to taste colors.
I never said that I was going to eat it. I'm proposing we buy it, we keep it in our pocket, and then when we meet somebody we don't like, say, have a pastry, right? When we don't tell us a dream pastry.
Like Decatur, for instance.
Yes.
Well, or we each buy one, eat it, and then go back into the Durst house and see what happens.
We can't go back. We burned it, remember?
In our dreams, it will stand eternal.
Oh.
Okay, so I will give you 1 gold coin for you to eat that pastry.
I have to eat it.
Right now, while we all watch.
Okay, so how many death saves do I have? Okay, sure. I'm a man who appreciates an altered state. You don't become an actor without experimenting with substances. So somebody offers you a dream pastry, you say yes.
Obviously.
Here's your coin, madam. Can I have my pastry, please?
You already had it.
Had the dream pastry, and she hands it to you, and she sort of sets it very gently into your hands, and then curls your fingers around it, and she sort of pats you on the hand and says, "You save that for later. You save it for later."
For later?
Yes.
Why for later?
No. Wait till you go home. Find somewhere relaxing, and then you eat your dream pastry.
Now, I think I'm going to eat it in front of you, if it kills me, my friends are going to set you on fire. All right, and I want this man here. He loves setting things on fire, so I'm going to eat it, and if it poisons me to death, you're going to die. How's that sound?
She doesn't let go of your hand, and you feel her nails start to grip into it and start to paste, and you her face changes, not in a shape changing kind of way, but suddenly any sort of look of fear that she had earlier sort of drips off, just removes from her face, and she just locks eyes with you, and you get the impression this is one of the most serious things she could possibly ever say to you in her entire life. And she says, "Do not eat a pastry out here. Save it for later." And she doesn't let go of your hand.
Madam,
you crushing the pastry?
Is it? Madam, I appreciate the spirit that you're offering this wisdom, but how can I trust this is not poisonous? If you won't let me eat your wares in front of you, that seems to suggest that you are trying to kill me.
She takes the pastry back out of your hand. She throws the coin at your feet, and she points an accusing finger at you, and she says, "The dream pastry is not for you. Go away and leave us alone."
Well, I think, friends, we just avoided a poisoning. I think that's what happens there.
Yeah.
Okay. She starts to wheel the cart away, looking back at you guys with. You get the impression that if she had a weapon in her hand, it would be through your throats already. You have not made a friend today.
Actually, charm person. Let's see if we can't get that dream pastry back. Wisdom save, please.
Okay.
Why not?
I'm curious.
What was that? Sorry, did you say wisdom save?
Yep.
No. She, you cast your spell against her, but you immediately feel that it has no effect on her whatsoever. And she focuses her gaze on you in particular, and just points a finger at you as she continues to walk away.
Well, there's always fireball.
No. Let's just
It's just escalating quickly.
So just to be clear, you're aware this is clearly for some, and you've probably never experienced this with this spell before. She's clearly the spell worked. It cast upon her, but she was completely immune to the effects of it.
Let's just we'll back out of this alley.
Check?
No.
Sorry, a knowledge check.
Blood of the vine.
Knowledge Arcana.
What if I call after her and say,
23
Madam,
Knowledge Arcana.
Okay. I mean, it's not unheard of, especially for magic users to, or sort of creatures that are strong in magical abilities to be immune to charm effects, for example.
Yeah, let's just walk back up the street and try to find this tavern.
Let's go back to the Durst house, which was safe.
No.
I think we go to the pub.
Yeah,
we go to the tavern.
Let's go to the tavern.
Maybe find some person who is sensible and will talk to us in a reasonable fashion.
And we'll ask
and
them
you-
about
And Master Summer should talk to that person.
Agreed.
So we're all agreed that we go to the tavern.
Crit Faced is a weekly Dungeons & Dragons podcast. To make sure you never miss an episode, and to get an exclusive prequel episode of the podcast where you can find out what our characters were up to before this adventure began, head over to critfacedpodcasts.com and join our Crit Faced fan group.